Jubilee recently did an episode of 1 versus 20. This time it was hosting Medhi Hasan. So in this instance, it was Medhi versus 20 people that are all far right, and some people are more right than the others. Now, when you watch this episode, you already knew that you were getting ready to hear some wild stuff, but some naturally, as it always goes when it comes to any kind of debate, some people stand out more than others, like this guy.
I am happy that he released J6. In fact, so much so that I was prepared to protest if he didn't.
Okay.
So when you say, are you okay that he's pro-crime? Sure, because you know what? We're changing the definition of what crime is, first and foremost.
You don't think stomping on police officers' heads is a crime?
I don't think it's no longer a relevant conversation anymore. You're
Really?
arguing, no, it's not, because you know what? Okay, have you seen the U.S. in the last 4 or 5 years?
Yes, I've
BLM
lived
protests,
there for a
have you
while.
seen? Okay, I myself have been involved in these protests. I've seen egregious things that you couldn't even imagine.
You also, in that debate, had the typical and predictable pivot that everyone expected.
But your entire claim is that he
That's
pardoned.
not my entire claim.
Your bet's basically you keep bringing it up. All you do is bring it up.
Okay, I'll mention
well,
some other people.
let me say this.
Are you okay with his pardoning of Paul Walczak, who
Let me
stole money
bring
from
this
his
up.
employees?
You keep talking
or
about
9 former
pardoning.
members of Congress. That's
You
my
keep talking
claim.
about pardoning.
He keeps pardoning criminals. That makes him.
You know who else
pro-criminal.
pardoned a big criminal?
Go on.
I wonder.
Hunter Biden was pardoned by his
Yeah, I
father.
don't think
He
he should've
did
done
crack
that.
cocaine,
He should've done
and
that.
he had hookers there too.
I'm with you all. I'm with you all.
So we had that section, and then he switched it up. So the premise now is Donald Trump is defying the Constitution. And then you run into this guy.
Nice to meet
Pleasure
you.
to meet you, sir.
This is Connor. Connor wants an autocracy.
Andy, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-Constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards...
Oh, we're clapping for that. We're clapping for a president that is anti-Constitution, even though he took an oath to protect and uphold the Constitution.
What a loser.
So Medhi explains his points that he's willing to stand on, that he wants to defend.
Checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay. Surprise. I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do, because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than
How do you
willing to. I'm more than willing to amend it and include
Whenever
the
it's in
Second
your
Amendment.
favor?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
you don't
it's the
believe...
Hey, at least he's honest. So Medhi asks him, what is it that you believe? And he says, well, autocracy. Now, if he left it right there, things would be fine. But if you give that kind of answer, people are naturally going to want to push in just to see how far you're willing to go with this argument.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
Whenever
the
it's in
Second
your
Amendment.
favor?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
you
it's
don't
the
believe in
friend enemy.
democracy?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree,
So
and
you
that's part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone. I
Why
can't
did
even
you-
remember.
Why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted.
This is
I kind
fascinating.
of voted just to.
I came with this
troll a
argument,
little
but I'm
bit,
bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are able to enact local
Who
leaders,
is the we,
or-
by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far-right conservatives sitting right around
White
me.
people?
Yeah,
No brown
absolutely.
people. So
Well,
some
actually,
of you guys,
I have quite.
some of the people
I
in this
have
room
quite-
don't make the cut from what I can see
actually,
visually.
Actually,
Okay.
hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance, from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you.
Okay.
I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white and should stay that
How
way.
does the United States... I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh,
to say
well,
your name.
I use
Connor-
a pseudonym online,
Fair enough.
but
Connor,
fair enough.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
No, I didn't ask about
whether-
deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader, such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
No, but
who
who picks the autocrat?
Now, there's more. Connor goes about explaining how an autocracy would function in the world that he would build, that there would be one vote. Once the aristocrats are in, there'd be no more voting for anybody. And then, they go into a few more details and whatnot, right? So since then, now, anyone that works a job knows that doing shows like this, it does come with some risk because You can say whatever it is you want to. You have your freedom of expression. You have your freedom of speech. However, your job or where you work, they have the freedom of who they're going to employ. And since then now, and so it has to always be taken into consideration that when you're getting ready to do one of these debate shows, there is always the odd chance that your employer might be watching. So, do you recognize this guy? Second box on the left. That's Connor. Here's what he had to say.
I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
What about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad.
We may have to rename this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you can say, I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
When I saw that, man, I was confused. I was like, I think that guy's, is he trying to get fired? Because I know today that almost every job, every sector has been inundated with this DEI bullshit.
Oh, no. Do not blame DEI on this one. Medhi asked him directly, are you a fascist? If you watch the clip, he asked him specifically, are you a fascist? He said, of course I am. Boldly, stood on it.
They allow you to believe anything you want except for things that are stringently right-wing, Christian, or heterosexual, you know, orthodoxy. Absolutely. And you are in some serious trouble in your personal life over this. Am I right?
That is correct.
What happened?
Well, unfortunately, I lost my job as a result, and no one really is to blame for that. It's just the culture that kind of exists currently surrounding the manner in which you're canceled for voicing exactly what you said, any heterosexual, Christian sort of moral belief that goes beyond sort of the secularism and the relativism that we're so used to in our time.
Hold on, what do you mean no one is to blame for that? Own it. Take responsibility. You lost your job. You know what it is that you said. They don't have to employ you. No one has a right to be employed. If you put yourself out there and they don't agree with the things that you put out there, they can let you go. Happens to teachers all the time. If you say, hey, I'm an open fascist, they can say, okay, we support your lifestyle. We support the freedom of you expressing yourself. However, we don't have to pay you. So deuces. If the company you worked for violated some kind of rule or some kind of law, go ahead, sue them. He said and did his thing on Jubilee. What part of the culture cost you your job, as opposed to just what it is that you said? Take responsibility. Own it. Anyways, just want to share that one with y'all. Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. Be easy, y'all.